Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Here we are with the September 2024 NRL22 Course of Fire. We've got 5 stages to go over. I'll cover one stage in each video. If you're new here and you like this content and helps you score more points, consider subscribing down below. If you just can't wait for these videos and you want to watch them ad-free, you can check that out on my Patreon page. Also on the Patreon page, I provide the dry fire targets that we're using during this sort of demonstration so that you can practice at home and dry fire. So they're scaled to different distances, so do whatever works for your scope parallax and whatever room you have available to practice. So let's talk about the September Course of Fire. The August Course of Fire was very, very mental focused. Target orders, weird moving positions, all that kind of stuff. This is a little bit more back to basics in terms of target engagements. Usually it's near to far, far to large, that kind of thing. However, what I have noticed in this Course of Fire is that the target sizes are relatively smaller across the board. So it's going to be a little bit more emphasis on target size than it is going to be on sort of the mental aspects of the game. But that's what I'm here for, give you the strategy, tips, and tricks so that you can succeed. So let's kick it off with the first stage called Back to School. Got the 55-gallon barrel, and the stage description is as follows. On the start signal, build a position on the 55-gallon barrel and engage the large target with 2 shots. Then move to a prone supported position and engage the small target with 2 shots. Repeat this sequence until all 12 rounds have been fired or time expires. So we have a 12-round stage. Luckily, it's just one distance, so we're going to dial and set our parallax for that one distance prior to the stage, get our magnification where we're comfortable. For me, that's somewhere between 15 and 20 power. And yeah, 12-round stage, so if you have 10-round magazines, think about where you might want to do a mag change. And it's just large target from the barrel and small target from the prone. That small target is about half a mil wide, so a little bit of wind could knock you off target there. So depending on the wind, again, small targets across the board for this Course of Fire. But let's see what this might look like in practice. So general strategy for this stage, I think it depends on kind of the gear you have and what you're comfortable doing. When it comes to the 55-gallon barrel, I always prefer 2 points of contact, which means bipod in the front, slide it all the way up on an Arca rail, and support bag in the rear. 2 points of contact, extremely stable. Not everyone has an Arca rail or has the ability to slide their bipod along their forend. So if your forend is long enough, we definitely want the bipod on the rifle because we have to go prone. So I would suggest something like this. So I have a Armageddon Gear OG size game changer here, and instead of trying to balance here on the back of the 55-gallon drum and have your bipod mess everything up, what we're going to do if you're a right-handed shooter is use the right side of the barrel, and hopefully that gives you enough clearance so that your bipod isn't interfering with the barrel. And we're going to take this position. It's actually really solid here, and get on the rifle like this. Get square to the target, make sure that your body is perpendicular to downrange, your trigger finger, dominant knee up, elbow into the knee, or depending on how tall you are, knee into the back of your tricep. And this is super stable here, using my left hand to grab the bag and the rifle and get super stable here. So this is a very valid position for those people who have either, like let's say your bipod's attached to your swivel stud in the front, or you don't have the ability to move it back and forth. As long as your forend is long enough, then you're going to be able to use the side of the barrel here. And that's going to help because it means you don't have to deploy and collapse your bipod. It's going to save you a lot of time because this is a 12-round stage. So this is what I recommend if you don't have a full-length Arca rail on your rifle. I do. So I'm going to actually slide this all the way up, and then this is going to become my front. And then in the rear, notice that even with this slid all the way up, I don't necessarily I could probably get it to the back, but don't be afraid if you don't have enough room to use the bag on the pistol grip itself. So that's probably what I'll do. 2 points of contact, super stable. Again, I can go 1 knee up here, 2 knees down, whatever makes the most sense. Because 2 points of contact are on the barrel, I don't need that extra rear support in the rear, so this arm can float in space, or you can rest your forearm against the barrel, which is probably even more stable. And it's just going to be 2 shots on the large, and then transition to prone. So let's do a quick rundown and see what happens. All right, so Timer goes beep, 2-minute timer, let's just pretend. So I'm starting with all gear in hand. I'm bringing an extra bag and I'm just gonna leave it down there for rear support. You can also transition this bag with you, but I'll just leave that one there, makes things a little easier. Again, 2 points of contact, 2 shots, large target. 1, might have to wait for it to stop swinging if you hit it. Let's call that 2. Now, because the bipod is slid up, what's gonna happen is you're not gonna be as stable, because the further apart your rear buttstock and the bipod are, the more stable position, but it should still be plenty stable. 2 shots. And just going back. Again, bag under the grip in my case. Given the specifics of my rifle, it would help if I could find the target. There we go. One, 2. Let's pick up the pace. We got about 30 seconds left. What was that? 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably about 15 seconds left for 2 more shots. I've been talking the whole time. And there we go. So, even talking through that, there's time. And even, delaying 5 seconds on the start. Plenty of time. It does get the heart rate up. You're doing kind of like burpees between the 2 positions, but leaving the bag there and leaving the bag here just makes so that when you get into position, all your stuff's already there. All you have to do is worry about moving the rifle. Again, if you don't have the ability to slide this all the way up, or slide it all the way towards the magazine, you can always get into a nice stable position like this. And then again, using my knee. I mean, that's pretty rock solid right there. If you're tall enough to be in a kneeling position. If you're short, you might have to stand. If you're gonna stand, make sure that your legs are spread as far apart as you need so that you can lean into the rifle, still get square behind the rifle, and almost lock the legs out, right? You want straight legs. You don't want to be doing this because then you're torquing and bouncing up and down, and that's not stable. So those are my strategies, tips, and tricks. Hopefully one of those or one combination of those will help you during your match. If it does, let me know down in the comments. And if you're a Patreon member, all 5 of these videos will go out at once. On YouTube, the YouTube algorithm gods prefer, sequential uploads. So probably this Course of Fire was released late Sunday, so I didn't have the time to film it over the weekend like I usually do. So what we'll do is we'll probably release 2 videos today, 2 videos tomorrow, 1 video Friday, and first day of the month is Sunday. So will be the match that I attend, and hopefully bring you match footage shortly after that. So if you like what I do here, leave me a comment down below while you're down there. Like this video, subscribe, and until I see you next time, as always, score more points.